But I don't have the settings that I wanted to, and this is loud as fuck, so yeah. Anyways, I don't know, I'll like pantomime. Alright, hello everyone. So welcome to today's video. I am here, and I start with clean face, and here are the products that I use. So I'll kind of walk you through my whole week of routine, but yeah, so here we go. Alright, so here I am, look at my face, I'm so quirky I guess, I don't know I'm dancing, what we're getting into, but yeah, let's get into this. So, again, start with a clean face. Here I am once again, don't know why I'm taking so long, but I scrub my face with my cleanser. I use a spray. I have these serum drops with hyaluronic acid, and then I put lotion on my face so my skin is nice and moisturized and supple. But yeah, that's basically my whole routine. Pretty easy. I'll insert pictures as I go, I guess. So my first makeup product is the L'Oreal Skin Tint. I think that's what it is. I'll insert pictures. But yeah, I basically just take it, and because it's kind of like really skincare heavy, I just roll it in my hands just to make sure all of the pigments are mixed together. And then I take some, squeeze the like tube tip, I don't know what that looks called, and I just put a little bit on my hands. Actually, I end up using a lot more than this, but I just spent a little bit and then get more as needed, essentially. But yeah, just put a little bit on my hand, as you can see there, and then take some with my finger, and then I just dab it on my face. And for like preface, I will end up covering my face a lot, but I show most of the process, and I try to keep being mindful throughout filming that I actually have been covering my face, so yeah. But bear with me as much as you can, I still show most of the process. Here's me getting a little bit more, putting it all over my skin, and that's basically the process. So I take this makeup brush. This was super popular like back in the day. I got this at like TJ Maxx or something, but I honestly love this for blending over, especially this specific product, over a sponge, mainly because it doesn't absorb into my sponge. It just is compacted into my skin and gives me pretty good coverage for a fairly lightweight product. It honestly feels like my skin, but a bit better. And again, this is overall a really nice product. I really like that. But yeah, just blend it in. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit so I'm not dragging. But I blend it, and then the next step is concealer, so I'll meet you guys back when I'm done with that. Alright, so here's the next step. I use the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I don't remember the exact shade. I'll probably just look it up and like add it in post. But I want to say it's medium sand, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But I just place a little bit under my eyes, right in like the crease of my nostrils, above my lip, on my chin, and then on my forehead. So just like my T-zone, like the high points of my face. Anywhere where I want brightness and contrast, and a bit more dimension in my face. I do a pretty light hand just because the coverage is pretty decent. And then I go in with this flat brush. It's not quite like a kitten's paw brush, but it's a flat brush, and I like to use it for concealer. I think in the set that I'm using right now, it's actually called a concealer brush. But yeah, I use a very light hand, just blend it in. The goal is to keep it, again, as close to the center of my face as possible. I don't want to whiten my face anymore, because I already have a pretty round face and like very chubby cheeks, and so I'm trying to add emphasis to that. I'm trying to add emphasis to my cheekbones and, again, the center of my face. like the high points of my face to give that snatched look, you know? And then I take, this is the spray that I actually use for my skincare. I use a little bit and moisturize my brush with it, just so I can wet the product a little bit and get a little bit more blending going. Just because the e.l.f. camo concealer does dry down pretty fast. So I just use that to moisturize it and blend it up a little bit more. Then take a little bit more, just a tiny bit, put it on my nose, just because I feel like I didn't have enough product on my nose to really, again, give it the definition that I need. But I go and blend it in real quick, and I think this is pretty much it for concealer. Yeah, just a little bit more blending, blend some more, and yeah. Next, I go in with the CoverGirl Trublend blush. I don't remember the shade, I'll just add it in post. And I take my blush brush and I put it on the not the apples of my cheeks, but like just above my cheekbones. I kind of use my blush to continue to snatch my face up, and I put this on before I even set my foundation and concealer, just because I like to go pretty heavy with my blush, and then I use my setting powders to tone it down if I feel like I went a bit too heavy-handed. And usually that works out pretty well for me, so do the same on the other side, blend it out. And then you'll see that like it's pretty heavy, but then again I go in with my setting powders and it makes everything look nice and seamless and blended. So for the outer parts of my face, or the perimeters of my face, I use the Clinique powder foundation. I use that as my setting powder. Here's what it looks like. I've had her for so long, it's low-key probably expired, don't listen too much on that part. But I go in with my, I stick with my foundation brush, but I just really use it for my setting powder. And again, I just go on the outer parts of my face, so usually it's like the cheeks, my chin, my forehead, all of that. And then I use a different powder for the center of my face, just because it's a slightly lighter shade. So this one's closer to my true shade. And again, I just use it to set the outside of my face. But I have a slightly lighter powder that I use to set my concealer. So here I am going with the other powder. Apparently, I actually don't know about this product too much. I use the shade 107, Honey Amber. I actually got this from a friend, and I just happened to like it. As you can see, I'm kind of hitting closer to pan on that one. And this one definitely has a lot more fallout. So there's that. So I make sure to brush off the excess, or dust off the excess. I just go in under my eyes, set around my mouth, my nose, my forehead, the center of my forehead, my T-zone, and I just go in with a really light hand, because again there's a lot of fallout, so I don't really need to go crazy. But yeah, just blend it in, and you can see it's already giving me that really photo finish look, which is why I actually like this product. I just, didn't buy it myself. This was actually a gift from a friend. Oh, and here's me falling over to grab, I don't even know what, I think I was like getting my phone or something. But here I am starting my eyeshadow. So the eye look for today is going to be kind of reminiscent of like 2016, but not quite. You'll see what I mean in a second. But I come in with a fluffy brush. This is just a random one that I got from a set, probably from like TJ Maxx again. So I'm going to come in with this like rusty or like dusty rose shade. And this is going to be one of two transition colors that I use. So this is going to be for mainly the center, like middle slash like outer part of my eyes. And I just go in with, again, this fluffy brush, and I load it in and just put it all over my crease. All over my crease, and I really focus it on, again, like the middle to outer parts of my eye, as you're going to see here. This part is honestly takes me a while. It's just the key thing of like blending this out is just having a light hand. I keep my hand pretty far on the brush just so I'm not like heavily like stamping it into my eye. So I'm speeding up a little bit here just because, you know, if you're familiar with how to do eyeshadow, then you know what I'm doing here. But for people who don't, by any chance, here's how I do my eyeshadow. As you can see, I'm constantly checking my viewfinder to make sure that, you know, I'm in frame, it looks okay, and all that stuff. So next I'm coming with this other shade. This is going to be closer to my actual skin tone. And I put this right in the center part of my eye where I'm going to layer my glitter on top. Just so I have a good base to put it on top of. I don't like using concealer though, just because I feel like it can get too messy very quickly. And yeah, I just put it in the center of my eyes just to create space for where I'm going to put my glitter. And then I also use this to map out where I'm going to put my second transition shade, or transition shade, goodness. Oh, and here I am reinforcing that crease shade just to make sure, you know, it doesn't get lost when I layer the lighter shade on top. So I go in with my second transition shade. It's this kind of rustic or red-orange color. And I really focus that on the like inner part of my crease. Still on the crease, but just looking on the inner side of my crease. Closer to where I guess my nose contour would be, but I actually don't contour my nose. So, yeah. So here I take this flat brush, and then I'm going to grab my setting powder. This is one that I found at TJ Maxx again. I actually kind of don't like this as much, at least because, as you can see, the spray nozzle actually doesn't look too well. But I like to use it on my brushes and stuff like that, but I actually don't like actually spraying my face with it just because it sprays unevenly, but that's not the point. So I go in with these kind of more, what is it, like pinkish metallic shades, and this is what I'm going to use for my first shade on my eyelids. And I use setting powder just because it helps the colors pop and stay on my eyelid. So I'm just going to blend this on my eye, and I'm just going to cut to the other eye. I'm thinking to speed to the other eye being done, just because it's pretty simple. Again, light taps until it has the coverage that I want, and it has the sheen that I want, until I'm ready to put my second glimmer shade on top of that. So here I am coming out with that gold shade. I don't reapply any of the setting spray just because my brush is probably still wet at this point. And I only need a little bit just to add a little bit more sparkle and a bit more dimension in that glitter. So here both eyes done. I can just get to that part just because I only add a little bit. And it doesn't look too different in the lighting, but trust me, there's a difference. And sometimes those subtle touches are all you need. So now I'm going with highlighter. I just used the goldish shade just because I want more of like a warmer situation going on now. And I use that on the tips of my nose, the tip of my nose, I don't know, I said tips. Tip of my nose, I put on my cheeks, I put above my lip, and then under my eyebrows for a little bit of dimension. And then I actually go in with a second highlighter shade just because, again, I like having kind of like duochrome and a lot of dimension in my makeup look. So yeah. Oh, and I also put a little bit on my chin and forehead. I forgot about that part too. So yeah, I just highlight my T's on and under my eyebrows. So here's that second shade. I actually get this one from the beauty supply store. Again, I'll add pictures of all the products that I use if I can find them. But yep, just reinforcing the highlighter that I already put on, just because you can see this one has like a lot more of that, you know, shine highlight look. The other one has more like a glitter slash sparkle, so that's why I like to use both of them. But yeah, just put some more on my finger, on my nose, just because that's the highlight that pops the most on my face. And I think this is all for my highlighter. So now I'm going with my brows. I think I also got this from the beauty supply as well. I use most of my makeup products are actually very cheap, or like drugstore. So I just comb up my brows with the spoolie end of it, and then I go in with the actual pencil part of it, and I start by carving out the bottom of my eyebrows, just getting that line pretty solid. I actually ended up not liking how my brows turned out too much, just because I actually haven't cleaned them up in a while at the time of filming this. So I just kind of do the best that I can with what I got right now. But yeah, I take this part really easy. Just slowly fill in any sparse areas, sharpen out the line anywhere I need to, and then just fill in my hairs little by little. Small hair-like strokes with my pencil, and just keep going in until I'm happy with how it looks. And then I do the same on the other side. Again, I like how this eyebrow turned out a lot more than the other one, but you know, again, the brows are cousins, not sisters. Like, at least for me, they're cousins, not sisters, because they're not giving sisters, not twins, you know what I mean? But anyways, that's fine. So I actually ended up not liking how this eyebrow turned out, but we're just gonna breeze past that. I don't know what I was listening to here, but I guess I'm having a ball. So now we're going with eyeliner. I use this gel pencil that I think I got from Walmart. It's from the brand Almay. I actually really like it. This eyeliner does not budge unless I like use my aloe cleansers on it. But I'm actually doing a very simple eyeliner look. I start with like the very outer part of like my crease and like waterline, and then I just line it about halfway in. This eye actually is giving me a hard time. I edited most of it out, but this eye was watering the whole time super bad. So lining this eye was a lot harder. But for the most part, I just line my waterline up until I get to my pupil or my iris. And I kind of just stop there. And then on a usual day when my eyes weren't being too troublesome, I would also tight line the top lash. But yeah, so I go in with this Maybelline mascara. I'm just showing you the wand. I actually really like this one, but this is not my favorite one. My all-time favorite one is the Sephora eyeliner or mascara, but I think at this point I didn't have it, so I've been using this one instead. I really like it, but it's just not my favorite formula. I love the Sephora one so much more, and I'll add a picture of the one that I prefer to use, and then again I'll add a clear picture of this one. But you know, if you put on mascara before, you know, seen it once, you've seen it all. So I just jumped to the other side, and here we are at the final step. I put some setting spray on. I know I'm taking forever to show you this, but yeah, put some setting spray on. I'm actually not going to spray it on today because again, I actually don't need it to stay, and I also hate the setting spray. But yeah, here's the finished look. Kind of breezed through it a lot, but here she is all done. And now I'm going to do some like fashion poses. Kind of screwing around at this point here, but yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much. I may try to make more content in the future, I don't know. But yeah, like and subscribe, I guess. Oh, and I also forgot to put a lip on, so I'm going to do that real quick right here. Yep. Cute little lip, just to say I have something on my lips. And my full face is done. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I might make more content, I might not, I don't know. But I did need to get this off my computer and finally edit this together, so here we are. Yeah, bye guys. Thank you so much.